About your transition from grade 10 through to grade 11, and I just wanted, we've got this morning's extended homeroom just for you to spend a bit of time thinking about kind of where this journey you're on at the moment in school, where it's kind of heading, and what your sort of plans for your future might be. Okay. This is just the first. I think Mr. Piercy is going to be speaking to you as well about the technicalities. So Mr. Piercy will speak to you about the specific technicalities of the IB diploma as the diploma coordinator. So he'll go through, the structure of the diploma and all that sort of stuff and the subjects that are available. Whereas I want to come at this at a more holistic, I guess, more kind of student-centered. It's more about kind of what helping you make the choices that are going to be the best thing for you. Okay, so I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm not here to say you need to do this, you need to do that. But it's just to try and give you some pointers about, what you need to kind of think about. Okay, just quickly, I just want to ask: has anyone given any thought to this already? Just can I see your hands if you have? Okay, a little bit maybe. Who's a little bit scared? Anyone a bit? No? Excited about the possibility of, making the next step in your career? Okay. I just wanted to say very quickly before we start, my next year, those of you who are here, I'll be working with you guys much more closely. It's quite hard for students, I think, to kind of switch from seeing me as a teacher, someone who says, right, you need to do this, and you need to hand your homework in, blah, 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 to someone who's actually here to help you make choices. Okay, so you've got to try and whatever your view of me as a classroom teacher might be, you need to try and kind of just take those glasses off and try and actually, see me as someone here who's really wants to help you make the right kind of choices. Okay, my kind of philosophy about your life kind of going forward, it can feel sometimes a bit like you're on a kind of treadmill or a factory line, right? It's like, kind of school's something you just kind of do, just kind of go through school, and you'll kind of do these exams, and your parents tell you to do one thing, your teacher telling you to do another. Okay, and I've got to do well in my NYP, so I can do well in my DP, so I can get a good place at university, so I can get a good job. Okay, there's elements of that are true, but you should really try to see your life less as a journey, where am I trying to get to, as in more like, a piece of art, like a dance. What am I trying to say? What experience am I trying to have? Okay, many of us, if you talk to your teachers, many adults, nobody really has a linear experience. A few people might do. Welcome, Leo. Do you want to just take a seat? A few people might do. Might have a clear idea at 14, 15 where they want to go, and they might execute that all the way through to their adult life. But that's really, really, really rare. Okay, and what I kind of want to get across to you today is to say that it's okay to not know what you want to do. Right? It's perfectly normal, and most people don't. And I'm not here, and I don't want you to feel like, I've got to know. But what I want to do is try and give you some ideas and some pointers to how to make a good decision when you don't really know where it is you want to go. Okay, does that make sense? Yeah. Oh, do we all need a cup of tea or some coffee this morning? A little bit. Okay, just a few things that are coming up for you guys. So, 22nd of March, those of you who were here last year, it's similar format to the Careers Day we had last year. I'll be sending some more information around to your homeroom teachers about this, but basically we'll be having a load of adults in, people from a variety of careers. You'll have the opportunity to go and meet with and actually talk to through different workshops. There'll be more information coming out about that, but that's a really good chance for you to actually try and find out about different careers, maybe things you have thought of, maybe things you haven't thought of. Okay. And then you're also, I did send a letter out to your families last term about this, but on the week of the 12th to 16th of June, it's after your MYP assessments, you are released from school to take a week's work experience, okay? Now, I sent a letter out in the first term, so please make sure that you've got your parents and you've got those dates in your diary. You won't be in school, you're released. It's self-organised, okay? So the idea here, I'm going to be working with you in a homeroom at the start of next term to help you think about your CV and cover letter, but you need to identify the opportunities yourselves. If you are really struggling, you need to come and see me. You need to send me an email and get in touch with me. If you're saying, Mr. Vincent, I'm really, really struggling to find work experience, then come and speak to me. I might be able to help you out, okay? But don't sit there and panic and go, I can't think of anything. If you can't, if you're struggling, then just let me know, okay? But it really should be self-organised. I did say in the letter, avoiding working for your parents, because this should be an experience of you actually sending off a CV, sending off a cover letter, and actually meeting people you're not necessarily familiar with. So let me know if you need any help. I'll put this presentation onto your Manage Back class, okay? So you can just access this, okay? And then there's a Google sheet I'll need you to fill in, but I will give you more information about that next term. Okay, so DP subjects, how are you going to choose? Who's got any ideas? What do we think? How could you approach the choice of your DP subjects? Ellie?
You have to think about what you enjoy.
Okay, thinking is kind of a good place to start, okay? I like that, think about what you enjoy. What if you enjoy something and you're not very good at it? Or how do you know if you're good at it? Yeah, okay. Any other ideas? Yeah.
Well, if you have like a basic idea of what you want to do later on, then you go backwards and you look at what you need to achieve that goal.
Cool. Okay, so you can either take the approach of like, okay, I don't really know what I want to do, or maybe I do what I want to do, but what do I really enjoy in school? What? Not which teachers do I like. It's a different thing. Not which teachers do I like, but what do I actually enjoy? What do I find interesting? What do I find engaging, regardless of who's teaching me? Yeah? What do I find interesting? Or what potential career do I want to do? And then, right, what do I need? What degree do I need? Okay, what do I need to get into that degree? Okay, I'll talk a bit more about that in a second. There are some issues, I think, personally, I think, with that, but we'll talk about that. Anything else? So there's two strategies, two things you could do. Any other ideas? What resources have you got in school? Yeah, there's me. So you speak to me. What else? Yeah. Yeah. Talk to your teachers. Yeah. I mentioned to you guys last term that the process you're on now is about you're becoming adults, and it's about building relationships, positive relationships with your teachers. And actually, that's probably one of the most valuable things you can do, right? Your teachers are going to have to be recommending you to universities. Your teachers, or jobs necessarily, if you decide not to go to university. Yeah, you want to make sure that you can build positive relationships with your teachers. Now's a really good time to start those conversations. Don't be scared of us. All right, we're not gonna, most of us aren't mean, but at least try not to be. We are here because we want to support you. Okay, so please just come and talk to us. Teachers actually do actually quite like it when kids show an interest in their subject. Huh? Anything else? Any other things you could do? I had a few suggestions. Okay, talk to your parents. Listen to your parents. Could be useful. Could not be. They might have an agenda that they want you to kind of go. They want you to be a doctor, and you're like, no, I don't want to do that. Okay, I had that experience, right, as a kid. Okay, so but the thing you've got to bear in mind is that you're going to be the one living your life. Yeah. Okay, but obviously you need to kind of. Your parents obviously are supporting you, but you do need to think about what's going to be best for you, and maybe have to fight your corner if necessary. Listen to your teachers. Talk to your teachers. Yeah, again, they don't know you that well, but necessarily outside of school, but they certainly would have a perspective that's worth talking to. You just do what you're told. No? Yes? I think that's a good strategy. Felix, what do you reckon? All right, Felix, you're going to do high-level maths and high-level chemistry, and I'm going to make you do those subjects. No, it's not a good idea. Okay, don't just bury your head in the sand and do what you're told. Talk to your cat, dog. No, probably not a good strategy. Okay, just randomly pick some. No. Okay, as we've said, you need to think carefully. Okay, don't leave it to the last minute. All right, and don't just bury your head in the sand. Actually, use this. You've got 2 terms, but 6 months now. Mr. Piercy is going to say to you, you need to have. I probably need to be careful what I say here. He's going to say to you, you've got a deadline by which time your grades need to be in. Okay, that's true. By which your choices need to be in. That's true. But do not let anybody, parents, teachers, anybody, put you under pressure about making a decision that's potentially quite important to you. Okay, that's very important to you. You do need to take it seriously. Don't leave it to the last minute, but do think about it. Have conversations and talk it through. Okay. Any questions about that? Neil? All right. So, some things to think about. Leo's idea. Do you have career ideas? Yeah, does anyone have an actual idea? I think you do, don't you? Yeah. Does anyone have an idea? Ellie, I think you might mention to me you have one. Boys, it's okay to not have one. I still don't, right? Okay? Believe it or not. No ideas? Okay. If you have a career idea, just things to think about, okay? Do you actually know what that job is like? Or is it just something you're like, oh, that sounds kind of cool, and I've watched TV and that person kind of does this, and therefore I'd quite like to do that? Do you know what I mean? So, do you know what the job is like? No. Okay, then my question is, how do you know that you'll be good at it and that you'll enjoy it? Talk about something you're going to do for, a number of years, every single day. How do you know that you'll enjoy it? Okay? If you think you do know what that job is like, again, I just ask you, how do you actually know? How do you know? So be really careful about that one. I'm not saying you shouldn't say, yep, I want to be an astronaut, and I'm going to go to, I'm going to take the first manned mission to Mars. Great, that's great. Have those aspirations, but try to find out what the implications of that job would be. How could you do that? How could you find out what that job's like? Work experience week could be a good time to start. Yeah. What else?
Asking people who have that job.
Yeah, you need to find through your parents, through maybe teachers. Find out if you can find out people who do that job. Get online, read about it. What does this job actually involve? If you do know some people, find out ask them, like, what is the most boring part of the job? Or what do you actually have to do day to day from 8 in the morning till 6 in the evening? What does that actually involve? Really do try and find out, okay? Again, if you don't know, that's fine, all right? Okay, again, if you might not think you know. I didn't know, I still don't know what career I want to do, but I did know there was a degree that I wanted to do. I had one degree that I'd always wanted to do. I don't know why, since I was about 8 years old, I wanted to do a zoology degree. I do not know why, okay? But I was like adamant all through school, I'm going to do a zoology degree. But I didn't really think about where that was going to take me, right? I didn't think about that at all. I just want to do a zoology degree because it's kind of interesting, right? So my question is, if you have an idea for a course, again, ask yourself, do you know what that course entails? Do you know what that means you'll be studying for 3 or 4 years? And do you know where that job could take you? One of the reasons my parents said to me, oh, you must do medicine, don't do zoology, was because they said, well, what are you going to do with a zoology degree? And I remember asking my teachers, what could he possibly do with a zoology degree? It's actually quite a lot of things could have done, right? Obviously teaching being one of them, right? But you need to think through, where's that going to take me and what would that actually involve? Does that make sense? Yeah. So, do you know what ideas you have at university? And again, I just ask you to think, how do you actually know that? Do spend some time thinking about it. Okay? Okay, now, if you don't know what you want to do, still don't know what you want to do for your future, okay? Best way to approach it, I'd say, is to think about, what do you enjoy at school? What are your academic strengths? Okay, what things are you strongest at? I'm not saying you're necessarily best of the class, but what are you individually, do you feel you're strongest at? Again, involves conversation with your teachers. Yeah. Okay, there's no point saying I want to do medicine, and then deciding to do high level chemistry, because you'll have to do that, and then finding out that actually you're not that good at chemistry, because what will happen is your high level subject, will be a low score, and it's going to demotivate you, but it's also going to not actually set you up with leaving your diploma with the best possible overall score. Okay, so you do need to think about, what are my strengths? I've got to play to my strengths, and I've got to try and maximise, that final score of my diploma. Okay, you need to think about it quite carefully. Right, that's why I say don't just have a fantasy job, and let that lead you down a path where you're going to take subjects which you don't necessarily enjoy that much, and you're maybe not that good at. Okay, so again, if you don't know what you want to do, you want to try and keep the options open as long as possible. Okay, you need to make sure that you think about, okay, I don't know what I want to do, but I want to make sure that when I find out what I want to do, I can do it. So how do you go about keeping your options open? All right, and we're going to explore this morning some of those themes. Okay, about keeping your options open. Okay, and then finding out how to pick universities based on where you might want to go. Does anybody know what country they might want to study in after the diploma? No. Potentially. Okay. All right. That's another factor you need to think about. Are you gonna? Would you want the option to stay in Switzerland, for example? Would you want the option, to go to the UK or the US or whatever? Okay. Do you want to keep those options open? Okay. Balance with what are my strengths? Okay. So just want to show you this video. This is produced by the Russell Group of universities. Has anybody heard of the Russell Group? No. Okay. You heard of the Ivy League? Yeah? What's the Ivy League? Don't know? Okay, so the Ivy League is I forget exactly how many, 7 or 8, maybe Miss Cassie might know. But there's basically a group of universities in the US, okay, that kind of market themselves as being the best. Well, that's kind of debatable, but they have a reputation of being particularly good. Okay, the Russell Group is the equivalent in the UK. Okay, so this is a group of 24 universities in the UK that again market themselves as being the top universities. It includes Oxford and Cambridge, but it includes obviously 22 other universities. Okay, so the video is about how you make choices, all right, for your DP or for your A levels. It does talk about A levels because it's aimed at the UK, but it does mention DP in terms of facilitating subjects. Okay, so we'll talk about those when we've watched this.